Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on CoreTV Midday News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. Nigerians in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have taken to the streets to protest the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. The protesting group is set to picket the MTN office in Abuja. We'll join our correspondent now, Basi Aye, at the protest venue. Hello, Basi. Please tell us about the protest going on in Abuja now.
Well, it's a small protest. What I mean by small is not a large group of Nigerians protesting the recent killing of other Africans by the Zulus in South Africa. So it's organized by a charity group. They call them the Blessed Family, and they are marching right now from the Unity Fountain to the MTN office in Abuja.
What are their demands on the MTN?
It's not like a demand, but they are just trying to show solidarity with other Africans. If we are patronizing your product, then we should not be killed. That is what they are trying to say.
Hope there has not been any case of violence or harming anybody.
No, it's been peaceful so far. We've just gotten to the Mesama district in Abuja.
And so when are we looking for this protest to end today?
Well, they mentioned quite a number of places. The MTN office and other South African-owned businesses in Nigeria, so it could take a while.
All right, thank you very much, Basi Aye, for that update. We would keep in touch with Basi Aye for more updates as they come up. And now we continue with the news. Following the current spate of xenophobic attacks in South Africa, a group of Nigerians in Edo State capital, Benin City, have staged a protest over alleged killings of Nigerians and other Africans in South Africa. The group, which came under the platform of the flagship, besieged a South African telecommunication giant along Murtala Muhammad Way, Benin, to express their grievances over what they described as barbaric and inhuman attacks on Nigerians, especially and other Africans in the Rainbow Country. The leaders of the group who spoke called on the federal government to brace up against the attacks as it urges the South African government to immediately put to rest the xenophobic attacks before it gets out of hand. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Education, Senator Uche Chukwumerije, died on Sunday evening after battling with a prolonged lung cancer. The ranking senator and former information minister, born in November 1939, was aged 75. The family, in a statement by Chidi Chukwumerije titled "The Passing of an Inspirational Icon," explained that the late senator, who represented Abia North Senatorial District in the upper chamber, died surrounded by his family. The family explains that details of his burial arrangements would be announced in due course, even as it's requested prayers and good wishes. Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu has expressed shock and sadness over the death of Senator Uche Chukwumerije. Senator Ekweremadu describes the ranking senator who died in Abuja on Sunday as a fearless politician who fought for the interests of the common man and his people. He noted in a tribute that Senator Chukwumerije loved his people and gave his very best towards protecting their interests and working for the development of the region. The Deputy President of the Senate said Senator Chukwumerije would be sorely missed by the Senate and the entire nation. The presidency has dismissed allegations that it spent 2 trillion naira on President Goodluck Jonathan's second-term bid. A national daily had claimed that President Jonathan had set up a panel to investigate the election expenditure. But presidential spokesman Ruben Abati said at a news conference that the presidency could not have spent half of the national budget on political campaigns. He also insisted that no committee has been set up as alleged in that story, while noting that the motives are suspicious. Abati wondered where the money could have come from at a time the country was spending so much on the ongoing war against insurgency and FAAC having to go to great lengths to ensure monthly disbursement to all tiers of government. The World Health Organization says pesticide poisoning is the probable cause of 18 mysterious deaths in southwestern Nigeria. Those who died in Ondo State suffered from blurred vision and headaches and then lost consciousness before dying within 24 hours. A spokesman for the WHO said tests done so far had been negative for viral and bacterial infections. He said the current theory was that the deaths were caused by weed killer. The outbreak started in the town of Odeirele. All of those affected started showing symptoms between 13 and 15 April. The WHO spokesman Gregory Hartle tweeted, "Current hypothesis on the cause of the event is herbicides, and tests done so far are negative for viral and bacterial infection." The tests were carried out at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, the WHO said. The Nigerian Baptist Convention says it has contributed greatly to the well-being of a great nation and will continue to do more to ensure the total advancement of the country and its people. The president of the commission made this known while addressing newsmen at the convention ground in Obinze, Owerri, Imo State. Our correspondent Ajibade Awufeso has details in this report.
Speaking to newsmen, Reverend Dr. Samson Ayokunle stated most areas the commission has added national values to the country, even as it aspires to do more.
We have been operating now in Nigeria for the past 165 years. Since 1850, Baptist denomination, Baptist Church, came to Nigeria. And we recollect, those of you following faith, that we have influenced the national life in various ways. The Baptists that we trade and occupied important positions in the national life. The past president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, was happened to be a Baptist, and he attended one of our schools, Baptist Boys High School, Abeokuta. We have influenced national life in so many ways. We were the first in the country to establish the first secondary school in Nigeria, Baptist Academy in Obaneko, established around 1886.
The theme of the ongoing convention is praying and working for peace, which Reverend Samson says it is what Nigeria and Nigerians need at the moment. He therefore calls on the president-elect Muhammadu Buhari to carry Nigeria along and keep to his promise.
I told General Buhari to keep faith with the people. He must do what he said he would do, which led people into voting him. He must stamp out corruption. Nigerians don't want corruption, a corrupt nation any longer. We don't want corrupt people any longer. They are cankerworms to the nation. And unless the philosophy changes, we cannot move anywhere.
Participants who came in from all over Nigeria testify to the timeliness of the event and says it provides solutions to the questions most of them have been asking. The resident pastor, Reverend John Uwanchuku, also stated that the convention indeed will have a positive impact on Imo State and Nigeria at large.
That was said over Heartland and all that. We said it's going to really help the Imo lives spiritually and materially, physically. Right now, many hotels, almost all the hotels in the where have been top. And get drivers and taxi drivers and operators are having their good time with money. And I'm telling you, even market women and some hawkers right there at the ground are making so much money. It's is helping the economy of the state. And again, the most important thing is the spiritual aspect. During the evening rallies, people are going to be prayed for. We are going to the word of God preached by seasoned men and women of God, and it's going to be a wonderful time of fellowship.
The event also called on Nigerians to be positive-minded and join in building our great country by avoiding all forms of evil. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
As the All Progressives Congress and its supporters still celebrate winning the governorship elections in Plateau State, the governor-elect Simon Lalong has called on the people to manage the extent of the celebrations so as not to threaten the fragile peace in the state. He stated this in Jos while at the party secretariat. Lalong later promised to pay up all outstanding salaries and arrears before he is sworn into office in May 29.
If we get unity, we get people united, then we fight against insecurity.
Now, what's the first change you will make on the plateau?
The first change, for now, is payment of salaries. But focusing on payment of salaries. Because we can't make people happy when others are, majority of our people are not happy about lack of payment of salary. Together with my deputy, my party chairman, we are working very hard. We are even believing, we are even thinking that we have a way of paying the salaries before inauguration. We will pay salaries before.
Lalong called on all Plateau people to team up with him to build the desired peaceful state that everyone expects of the 10th city. He also extended a hand of fellowship to his closest rival of the PDP, Jiang Pajuk, to join him in moving the state forward. This, many have said, is to avoid prolonged legal matters that could hamper the smooth running of the new APC government.
So going to have an elders advisory council. That will say that. So they will bring out so many things. They will bring out ways of reconciling people, ways of ensuring there's peace and unity on the plateau. That one is Shobaka. We're going to bring elders advisory council, which will be a reflection of all the major, the 53 of the two ethnic groups that we visited during our town hall meetings.
Your message to your fans.
The governor-elect promised to reenact the Elders' Council in the state while promising that the issues that bother on insecurity in the state would now be a thing of the past, because unity will be the
equity, fairness, and justice. Our one is fairness, equity, and justice. Inclusive governance. We are going to carry a people along. So nobody is excluded. We started our campaigns and we ended up with all the tribes, ethnic groups on the plateau. So if you get these people united, where is insecurity going to come in? Who is going to make the state insecure? And it is when you leave people, the law enforcement agency will take their course. But if you are found guilty, you will.
As the jubilation continues around the 10th city, it is yet to be seen how long the APC government in Plateau State will keep to its promises. It's the CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break and return with more. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Many thanks for being there with us, and for more on CoreTV News, you can visit our social media platform. On Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV with a space, the news. Ekiti State's Governor Ayodele Fayose has said his asking for forgiveness should not be taken for cowardice by his opponents, saying his survival in office will be determined by God. He said it took the steps to seek a genuine reconciliation with the All Progressives Congress, whose 19 lawmakers of the Ekiti State House of Assembly plotting his impeachment in the interests of the state. The governor said this at the Thanksgiving service organized for him at the Cathedral Church of Emmanuel Anglican Communion, Ado Ekiti, to celebrate his recent electoral victory at the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, the newly elected lawmakers in Ekiti State have admonished the lawmakers to stop fanning the embers of chaos in the state, saying Ekiti people won't allow the outgoing legislators destroy the state before leaving office. In a reaction, the APC lawmakers advised Faishe to stop inciting the people, saying his broadcast had demonstrated he was not committed to genuine reconciliation. As part of the fallout of the People's Democratic Party's failure at the last general elections, PDP chieftains are calling for the resignation of the party's national chairman, Adamu Muazu. PDP stalwarts say it is fitting for Muazu to turn in his resignation letter since he had been unable to take the party to victory. The PDP not only lost the presidential election to the opposition APC, it also lost its National Assembly majority status and the governorship seats, including the state houses of assembly. But the embattled national chairman, Muazu, has said he would not resign despite the loss of the party leads. Muazu said it was also wrong for anyone to call for the sacking of any member of the party's National Working Committee because of what happened to the ruling party during the elections. But Muazu, speaking through his chief press secretary, Tony Amadi, says rather than quit, he was going to stay behind and reform the troubled party. The Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has berated Governor Babatunde Fashola and Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission for refusing to conduct local council polls and abetting the continuous existence of undemocratic councils in the state. The party has also pushed for the use of permanent voter cards and card readers in the council polls. According to the PDP, the composition and existence of the councils as they currently stand is illegal, unconstitutional, and an aberration as they are not recognized nor accommodated in any of the nation's laws. The party stated that by Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, only democratically elected local government council is guaranteed. It is thus unexpected that a lawyer governor who claims to be a progressive and Democrat can continually disregard this constitutional provision and allow illegal and unconstitutional councils since October 2014, when the tenure of the last council was terminated. The PDP consequently tasked Governor Fashola to prove beyond doubt that he is truly a Democrat by immediately ensuring that LASIK releases the notice of elections for a free, fair and credible polls. The party also tasked the Lagos State House of Assembly to make necessary amendments to the present LASIK laws to accommodate the use of PVCs and card readers to conduct the polls. The All Progressives Congress in Edo State has won the rescheduled State House of Assembly election for Orion Constituency 2. The exercise took place in 4 wards in Okpakpo, Ugu, Uveusi, and Ugboko, and 12 polling units of Orion Constituency 2. The Independent National Electoral Commission had cancelled the exercise on April 11th, citing pockets of violence in the areas. The resident electoral commissioner, Mike Igini, had also told journalists at a press briefing in Benin that the margin of win of the leading candidate was far less to these areas, which had a total of 4,813 registered voters. People's Democratic Party had earlier withdrawn from the polls over alleged connivance by the INEC to sway the exercise in favor of the APC. However, declaring the result on Sunday, the returning officer, Olowu Owen, said the candidate of the APC, Roland Asoro, polled a total of 11,486 votes to defeat Friday Ogeriaki of the PDP, who got 8,640 votes. Owen said a total of 20,671 votes were cast, while 545 of them were declared invalid. Following the announcement, the APC will have majority presence in the assembly when inaugurated in June, having won 21 out of the 24 seats, leaving the PDP with 3. It should be noted that the People's Democratic Party boycotted the rescheduled assembly polls over alleged compromise by the state's resident electoral commissioner, Mike Igine. June 12, 1993 remains arguably the freest and fairest presidential elections in Nigeria, but the March 28, 2015 presidential elections, with its unique feature of the use of card readers, is also seen by many as a credible one. Oluwaseyi Adegoke compares the two elections in the history of Nigeria and presents her findings in this report.
Ibrahim Babangida's military junta promised to return the nation to civil rule. Immediately, he overthrew the Buhari Diagbon regime in a coup d'etat. With this in mind, and after several failed experiments and promises, the June 12, 1993 presidential election was held in a very unique feature of direct election known as Option A4, under the direction of Humphrey Nwosu. The main candidates in the election then were Bashir Tofa of the National Republican Convention and Moshood Abiola of the Social Democratic Party. The outcome of the election was not in doubt, while inflation of figures by electoral officials was impossible because people lined up behind their candidates and results were known before the end of the day. According to reports, Moshood Kashimawo Lawale beat Bashir Tofa in his electoral ward, further proving his vast acceptance across the nation.
Suddenly, there was a letter served on me by Commissioner of Police that we should cease forthwith in releasing the result.
The 2015 presidential election has also come, with many also saying it is the best. The nation has come up with terms of election and the process leading to it. The big question agitating the minds of many is, which is the better of these two historic elections?
Abiola stood out as the person that the people really wanted. But then it was not the issue of cards, it wasn't the issue of this option that we are using, it was option A4.
Voted him as for Abiola, Kashimawo Abiola, Moshood Kashimawo Abiola. He won in the north, he won in the south, he won in the west.
The final word on this, however, came from this legal practitioner who says the 2015 presidential election, though very credible, can be challenged, unlike the June 12 presidential election, which cannot be challenged due to near absence of irregularities.
People voted mainly out of sentiment, not out of reason. This particular election can be contested.
People were tired of PDP-led government, especially as it has to do with corruption.
While the debate will linger for some time, observers still think the June 12 elections was crude in its concept, though effective with the result. But until the next elections, the discussion continues. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has raided the Hajj camp terminal of the Murtala Muhammad Airport, seizing and destroying goods. The special raid was supervised by the Chief Security Officer of the terminal, Uche Ukeni, who disclosed the arrest of a female suspect. Ukeni added that the suspect will be taken to the Tango City Police Post inside the MMIA for investigation and prosecution. Two canopies alleged